Yo. All right. How's it going, everybody? Whew. 30 pizzas. What? I just want to be able to afford 30 pizzas a week. Bro, that is way too much pizza. That is way too much pizza. The nefarious salary man. Mwah! Thank you so much. Hey, Tongon, not to be that guy, but what did I just listen to? You just listened to Grow the Buck Up, my podcast. If you have any questions, this is the Q&A session. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll happily answer away. What did I end up eating? Did I have pizza? I had Asian food. I got a pad thai. It was quite good. Very happy with the decision. Thank you, Greg, for dinner.
Glory, glory, Man United.
Thank you, Koga. Glory, glory. What's the formula to get a girlfriend? Oof. That's Grow the Up. It's a different podcast. Great content, man. This is definitely super fun to explore an important topic. Love you more. That's coming from the D2 guy. Yeah, I love it. Honestly, it's one of my favorite topics. I love finances, and I love helping people improve their lives. Those are probably my two favorite things. And Diablo 2. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women. Scarface. It's good. I haven't seen Scarface, but I'll trust you on that. Thank you, Twisted Bro. Instead of moving to a cheaper town, I've considered moving to a higher cost of living wage city. Would assume that would max out 401k contributions for a couple years, then move that to that Kansas town. Yeah, that's a big thing, CPA. And that's a huge... where you live is massive. Like right now, I could go move to Thailand and probably just retire and live off of, what I have saved. But that's because Thailand is very cheap, right? You can go and get dinner for $1. So, but for me, do I want to live in Thailand? I think I enjoy living more in the States. So I'm looking around there. But even just in the States, my apartment in Oklahoma was $550 a month, all expenses included. I mean, like electric, water, sewage, everything included, $550 a month. Is living in somewhere that cost me $2,500 a month really worth 5 times the amount? That's hard. That's really hard to say. And there was a lot of value I could have just there.
I love your podcast. But did you know that at Mr. Camel Mobile told me my land was bigger than my one? So I stomped around for a week like a llama with a local area ego trip.
Nice try. What are things you think people can cut out of their lives? So many things. Thank you, relax. So many things. Just basic expenses, right? Like and this is where I'd love to probably do a podcast or two where I look through people's budgets and I just go, why, right? Like, you can look, personal care, right? Are you getting manis and petties all the time? How much are you spending on your hair? What are you spending on clothing and stuff, right? Like for me, I recognize that I don't care about clothes that much. So I don't spend money on clothes. When I really need new clothes, I'll get new clothes and they're fine. I'm not walking around with holes all over the place and stuff. But like, it's okay. And I'm totally fine with it. And it's one of those things where I recognize that didn't bring me a ton of happiness. My car is 15 years old and I love it. It's great. It drives me from point A to point B. I don't have a car payment. My insurance is cheap because my car isn't expensive, and that's great, right? I don't drink coffee. I don't get sodas at restaurants. I just drink water all the time. Like all of these little things you can just add up, right? And it's just $5 here, $10 here, whatever it is. But when that becomes a part of your overall expenses, I mean, my expenses when I was in Oklahoma were like 18 to 20 grand a year, which was nothing. And so I was able to take a lot of money that I was earning and put it away and put it into savings and really get to that. And that was still including going out to dinner, because I still like to go out to eat, right? Going out to dinner and going on trips and things like that. That was still including those things because I just didn't spend a lot of money on the other things. Don't spend money on joke websites. Hey, Camel Cares is doing surprisingly well. Let's say I can invest $5K per month in Vanguard all stock fund. Do you do 5K each month, 15K each quarter, 60K each year? Assume 5K is best to avoid time in the market. So 2 out of 3 times, just dumping your money in immediately is going to be more beneficial. 1 out of 3 times, dollar cost averaging, which is what it's called, spreading that money over a long period of time, is going to work out better in the long run. So it really just depends on you and, you know, if you want to play those odds or if you want to be a little safer feeling, right? You won't have as big of a loss if you put it all in and it just tanks. But at the same time, you won't, in more cases than not, won't make, you know, like I say, 66% of the time, you're going to make a little less on it. So that all just depends on you. Gaining bad habits is easy. Shedding them is hard. Bad habits make us feel good. It's true. Food, $200. Data, $150. Rent, $800. Candles, $3,600. Utility, $150. Someone who's good at economy, please help me budget. My family is dying. Where are you in your FIRE journey? So it's difficult for me to say exactly because I have a lot of the side hustle stuff going with my work. So I'm more looking at the coast FIRE route, I think, where I want to get to that point where I can leave my job. Hi, people at work. You know, where I can quit my job and I can do streaming and then kind of take a few extra years, but be in a, you know, but I'm like okay with it because this is kind of my like passion and a work thing, right? I really enjoy streaming. And so if I retired today, I would still want to stream. So I'm kind of in a way of, I want to transition it into that where I'm coasting towards this FIRE goal as opposed to being really hardcore and trying to, you know, work both jobs and save everything for all of it. Let's say you wanted to buy an apartment, it cost $500K, you saved up $250K. How much would you loan? I would, whenever I'm doing an apartment or anything like that, I'm doing 20%. I'm avoiding PMI. That's just an additional cost that is ridiculous, but that you don't ever want to spend. But, you know, at the same time, I feel like you also want to have a little bit more beyond that just for, well, always like closing costs, stuff like that. But additionally, just like to be safe, right? Just to have a little bit extra. But I would put 20% down probably. What was I expected financial advisor when I saw your Discord? But yeah, someone might have some advice for one of my issues. I have a stable economy, so that's not to worry, but I have an addiction towards eating something when I work. Night shifts and I drive lots of cars, long boring roads. Ends up with a lot of candy. Got any tips towards something cheaper or healthier? Tried bread, nuts, and something similar, not helping. I'd be curious to see if chat has any good suggestions for that. I'm a snacker as well. So my recommendation would be, one, maybe look at bulk snacks that you can then like bag together. This is if you want to save some money, right? Pretzels, goldfish, raisins, trail mix, you know, some candy, whatever. Put all of it together kind of in a baggie and then eat from that bag. I think if you put it all together and create a bag that has some things that you'd like and then some things like nuts and stuff like that in it, you're going to eat all of it anyways when it's there and you're picking at it. But you'll at least take it out because you'll be like, oh, it's got some candy in it. So I would actually recommend that. But I'd be interested to see if other people have other thoughts. I'm going to be starting a nursing job in February. I'll need to buy a car. Owning a car in Houston is a bit of a necessity. I agree. It doesn't mean you need to buy a expensive new car. I think that is a very important piece, right? A lot of people think, I need a car. I need to go buy a 2019, Mercedes.
I used to work for minimum wage, living paycheck to paycheck. But because of Camel Cares, I now live life free of debt. It didn't go anywhere. I just stopped paying it. Thanks, Camel Cares.
That's good. Thanks, Camel Cares. So honestly, I would highly recommend looking into the like 2, 3, 4-year-old used cars. There's a lot of like Honda Fits, and I personally love like Toyotas and Hondas because they don't have a lot of maintenance issues in general. But look kind of in that area, and you can generally find a great car between like $8,000 and $10,000. That's, just a couple years old, is going to last a long time and isn't going to be too expensive. And you'll knock some of that sticker price off as well. Over time, decades, you shouldn't lose money in a fund unless it's a really bad fund. Exactly. I'm sorry, I bought a cheap apartment a couple years ago, only paying $400 for your mortgage. Because of this, I pay off extra on my mortgage so I can be done in 10 years. Now I help some people I know that I don't have as good as me. It's awesome to share. That's awesome, Hamburger. Yeah. And that's like a fantastic thing, right? Rent is a huge, huge, huge expense for people. Massive expense. So many people burn 45, 50% of their income just on rent. And I say, well, can you change that? And they go, I can't. I have to live where I live. Do you have to spend $20 to $100 a month on your rent? I don't think so. Can you get a roommate? Nah, I don't like roommates. I'm not good with roommates. I mean, okay, if it's worth it to you, right? But like, this is, once again, you got to make that decision. But there is a lot of room there to save money.
Camel Cares hacked my money, so now I wipe my butt with my overdraft notices. This is a joke. Camel really cares.
Camel does care. Oh, man. For sure, baguette. I also try my best to not snack and make some snacks on the weekend. Yeah, it can be tough. You started chewing gum. Honestly, I haven't eaten real candy in a long time. $1.20 pack lasts you 3 or 4 days. There you go. Maybe gum's a really good idea for it. Buying bulk instead from the store is 2 times cheaper or more. Yeah, you can get a lot. Like vending machines. If you're going to vending machines, quit, go buy bulk, make 50 baggies and put them at home, and now you've just saved a ton of money. If you have a medium credit card, there can be a solution. Just don't pay with the computer. Oh, okay. You're answering him. Exactly, Camel. Look for a 2005 Camry. You can shoot the block of the shotgun and still get you where you need to be. That's true. That's true, man. Like I say, I drive an old Camry. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I got a mortgage with my friends and girlfriends, about 1/3 of the price of rent for all of us. It's beautiful. House hacking is a fantastic thing. I'm probably not going to do a full episode on house hacking, but like, you can very easily live for free by just getting a place and getting a couple people to live with you.
If you are looking for a roommate, I know a guy that specializes in fixing microwaves. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Well, that's why we have Kylie, right? I lived for a year in a luxury apartment. I was paying for a new car too. I love the apartment, but I regret it because I wasted so much money I could have saved, although I was making decent money, but still. Yeah, and that's one of the things. A lot of people say, well, I'm owed this. I earned this. I'm making good money. I'm supposed to live in a nicer place now. I'm supposed to drive a nicer car, right? It's the least that should happen because this is what I deserve, right? A lot of people think we deserve we all deserve to be making $1 million a year. And so as soon as they start getting any bit closer to it, they're going to start spending it because, well, if I'm making $1 million a year, I need to live like I'm making $1 million a year so people know I'm making whatever it is, right? A lot of egos and things like that through all of it.
A good way of saving money if you go to
where? Oh my God, he's cliffhanging us. Gosh dang it. Thank you, Relax. Honestly, if you love a nice climate, buying a decent sized travel trailer and living in a trailer park can be pretty cheap per month. 506 in electric wire taken care of. Yeah, and if you're into that, like for me, I wouldn't want a travel trailer. I've never liked the idea, but I can see the value in it for sure. What percentage of income would you say is optimal or realistic to spend on rent/mortgage? Once again, it depends on income. This is one of those things where I think the question, like, when should I retire, isn't based on, well, what's your income? It's based on where are you? Or not, like, isn't based on what percentage should it be, but is based on how much do you make? If you make $200,000 a year, the percentage should be a lot lower than if you make $20,000 a year, right? I think it's reasonable to spend maybe $1,000 a month. I think anywhere from like, it's so hard to give an exact number, but for me personally, I would like to be around $800 to $900 in rent per month. I currently spend more than that, and that's something that I'm currently accepting, but I would like to change, and I need to change, and I've recognized that. Like it's more than I wish to spend. But there's a lot of places, like I say, in Oklahoma, I was at 500, and that was a little too cheap, because with that came like, roaches in the apartment building. Sometimes the hot water went out for an entire month. The AC would go out every summer. Things like that, so I kind of got what I paid for. Whereas where I live now, I haven't had a single issue, but I pay more for it. So, I would hope not. So I think there's a fine in between, though.
Feel free to join me in communist Canada, my llama comrades.
Thank you, D. Woodley. There you go. Go up to Canada. Yeah, a lot of people pay so much for an apartment or a place to live and then spend so much of their waking hours away from where they live, working. But I do have to say, you have to learn as you live, so it's okay. Everything is okay. Never regret the past, because you learned from it and you just carry that knowledge going forward, right? It happens. Stuff happens. I've done stupid things. I've done crappy things. I've been mean to people. I've lied to people, right? I mean, there's stuff. I've spent too much money. I've thrown money away. Literally, all sorts of stuff. You know what? Life happens. You learn from it. You go on. Lon, what's your thoughts on multiple incomes? I have a quad income in the summer, triple in the winter, 2 hobbies that pay. Fantastic. I love multiple incomes. I'm a huge proponent of that. I have my Twitch income. I have my YouTube income, which isn't a lot, but hey, something. I have the my job income.
I hate to interrupt your train of thought with trolling, but Camel Cares says troll is life and life happens.
Well, thank you for interrupting my thought with trolling. Where was I again? Oh yeah, incomes. Thanks, Greg. So I love the idea of getting extra incomes. Side hustles are fantastic because it's a great way that you can just tack on a little bit more. And if, add that right into your savings and help that savings rate. I would think that if you're in $40K a year after taxes, spending $1K a month or so on a place to live is about on par. Yeah, I think that's about right. 33%, 25 to 33% is kind of like what they recommend. But once again, I don't like the recommendations without all the numbers. And I think you should go lower than that personally. I think you should aim for less than that. Because like they say, I mean, it's a place to live. And, for me to sleep and to play on my computer. And I spend a little more time in my place now because I work here and I stream here. So that's why I don't mind spending as much here. But like when I had an office job and I was going out and all that stuff, it was like, I don't spend any time at home. Why am I spending a ton of money on that? I found this conversation really interesting because I'm the opposite and would say I'm too frugal and won't get things even when I should be. Well, that was the warning at the start of my stream missed, which was financial independence and retiring early and saving money is great, but it's not everything. It's not going to make you happy. It's not going to, give you meaning in life or whatever. it has its limitations. I was in a spot where I was saving like all of my income that I could, basically. Like I said, I was living on like $18,000 a year, and I was, just saving everything. And my savings rate was like 50, 60%. And I was like, great, I'm just going to go and I'm going to save all my money and sacrifice everything now and retire. And then after a few years, I burned out, and I was like, I don't even know what I want to do with my life. I don't even know what I enjoy. I don't even, I wasn't going on any experiences, getting anything for myself, doing anything. And so I really was out of whack in my joy per buck, right? And so I started doing stuff, and I started realizing things like, wow, I really love skiing, and I'm willing to work to save a little extra money so I can go skiing. At the same time, I realized other things like, wow, I don't really care to do, scuba diving every single year. Like, I'd be down to scuba dive a couple times here and there, but I don't need to spend a lot of money over there. And, just learning more about myself and what I wanted gave me a better picture of what I actually want in my life. And then I could financially build that out and build a goal towards it better. You live in Northeast New Jersey, finding an apartment less than 1K a month is difficult. Yeah, location's huge. And that's where I come down to the idea of, what are you gaining out of living there, and is it really worth it? If you're making $20,000 a year, $25,000 a year, and you're living in New York or Northeast Jersey or whatever, and finding a place to live for under $1,000 is almost impossible, move. It's not like you're in a spot where you need to be there to work to make that income from, you can't get that job anywhere else. Like, you can make 25 grand a year in a lot of places. Go to one that has $500 for an apartment, Like, go to there. But a lot of people just, they stay where they are. It's very comfortable. Even if they're unhappy, they don't like moving, getting out.
Yeah, let's save money today and spend them tomorrow for punishing llama during MVS.
That's right. Invest it today so that tomorrow it's worth more. Geez Louise, thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. How are you doing, buddy? You need to make money off your hobbies so you can write a percent of it off. Llama loves training to play it too. Guess he makes money off of. I mean, I don't think you always need to make money off your hobbies. For instance, this podcast is my hobby. I make $0 off of this hobby. In fact, I give money away. You could incorporate it and say a little bit of it is maybe involved with like streaming and stuff. But like, for the most part, I pretty much spend more on this podcast stuff than I would make from it. But I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not doing this podcast to make money. I'm doing this to try and help other people. So that's fine for me. And same thing, when I started streaming Diablo 2, I wasn't really expecting it to go anywhere. So Vegas is pretty cheap, and under 10 to development, so property is going to skyrocket in coming years. Yeah, I've heard Vegas is pretty cheap, and a lot of people enjoy living there off the strip, of course, right? Came for Diablo 2, but this is better.
Just say the word. I'll cover the website in ads.
Thanks, Camel. We'll look if there's more than like 30 visitors a day. I was inches away from buying a house at the bottom of the housing crash. $100,000 for $50,000, but someone undercut your bid. Ouch. I mean, it happens. It happens. Oh, guys, never finishing the necro? Probably not. My hobby turned into my job. Last year, I made 43K average. Paid $310 for my mortgage, split another 90 for it. Dang, that's awesome, man. I have people scoff when I tell them what I make, but I couldn't be more comfortable. Who cares? People are going to say what they're going to say. Like, forget it. Didn't know I was a Man U fan. It's whatever. I'm a casual fan. A lot of people I know are caught in the mentality that you need to make 100K a year so they can buy nice things. It's a tragedy. It truly is. The amount of people in the world that think money is happiness and nice things is going to really improve their life greatly. It makes me sad. Because, while there are some, nice things to, spend some money on and stuff, a lot of times it's just they want everything, right? And it's like, what do you actually care about? Are you a car person? Are you a computer
If I was your
guy?
revenue
What is it?
generator, your bank would tell you nice try, but no. I'm horrible with money.
Thank you, nice try, but no.
Money makes the world go round, I think.
I think it does. RTX 4080 Ti, that's right. Have to be careful considering roommates if they're paying part of your mortgage since that income is taxable. True. That is a good point. Was like that before cable TV just started showing rich people vapid lives? I don't know. I wasn't around really before then, or watching TV too much. But yeah, I mean, look at like so many of the, you know, the TV shows and celebrities and things that people love following. They just like looking at like rich people. And they're just like, oh man, that rich person has a $10,000 dress on. I wish I had that dress. You know, like, okay. Do you really? You know, I mean, are you really a dress person, or you just want that dress just to have the dress, and then what? Then you want the next thing, right? It's not going to improve your life. Bird brain. What's the starting time for Saturday MVS? Probably 8:30. Try for that. I have a long question involving my IT work and the risk level surrounding my focus on my business. Started PC repairs, but I'm having a hard time balancing work, money, and personal since it's so small. The risk level surrounding your focus. What do you mean by balancing work money and personal money? Like keeping them separate or what? I don't quite understand that. Also, somebody asked, do you have any tips about first jobs? I mean, it really depends on your education, things like that. I think the earlier that you are in your life, I think the more important it is to try and save money at that point. I think if you go into a spot where you are spending all of your money and trying to live this big, crazy life and whatever, you're going to put yourself in a rougher situation. Like I said, for me, I went up to Oklahoma. My rent was $500 a month. My overall expenses for the year were about 18 grand. And that left me a lot of room to save money, to do stuff that I, wanted to do and not worry as much. And then I could kind of build from there and then, go around. So I think learning how to resist marketing and advertising will go a long way in bettering your... Oh, for sure. This is why there are ads on YouTube with people standing in front of Lambos advertising they have a secret to making millions. And people eat it up. They absolutely love it. I make 41K now from home. Nice. Twitch is bringing in 200 a month thanks to my very few but generous amazing viewers. That's awesome. Taught yourself web dev and SEO. Yep. Do that from home. Started writing a couple of blogs. Do that from home. Now you save a lot of money because you don't go out much. You have 6 figures of debt you're working off. Ouch. Still terrible with money, but life has gotten a lot better. Well, congrats, G's, on taking all those steps. It sounds like you've done a lot to improve your life and improve yourself. Also, you're a awesome streamer. I love your personality and love your sense of humor. And, go get it. Go tackle that stuff. 6 figures of debt. Is that from school, or do you mind sharing? I'm interested about that.
At Miss 15 at Mr. Camel Mobile programmed the microwave to go into reset loops so we can watch for the trolls to come out of the skinny door.
It's not a... Oh, my God. When they profit about $1,000 a month and there's three of us in on it, I decided to start buying a bunch of tech and game company stocks. When they tanked recently as a way of forcing out my hands in a protected way.
Here's some money for Timmy's medicine. I hope I'm not too late.
Do we tell him? No. Any thoughts on ways to balance it? My 40 hours is in IT, though with one child doesn't support any extra for the biz either. So you're saying you take the profits from the repair business and are investing the profits. I would say definitely, the profits in that would probably need to go first and foremost back to the business for reinvesting if you guys need more right there. What was I doing for work in Oklahoma? I was working in IT. you know, I would say that's, yeah, the business needs to start sustaining itself, and then all additional revenue profit beyond that can start to be split out. But, you know, what's the goals for the business? What's the expected revenue? What is the expected, if we invest this much, will it increase, you know, our income that much? I mean, I think you got to really look into those terms and what, you know, where do you guys want it to go? Netflix is a good deal in terms of, yeah, I think Netflix is pretty good for joy per buck. Don't you guys have pantries? For some, other enjoy watching Twitch and stuff, just stream for $5 a month. It's true. It's totally true. School, yes, love unpaid medical from early life complications. Really screwed up in your 20s. Amazing to think about. I was making over $200K a year in film and comedy. Wow. And I was still borrowing money to keep up with the lifestyle I thought I had to show in order to be successful. Now you make 20% of what you used to make and are 60% happier. I was an idiot. Now still am, but 11%, so less so. That's awesome. Information technology. You're slower. So I was working with databases, basically, for a company. Wow, making $200K a year in film and comedy. And then that stuff shifted, I guess. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's also one of the things that, you know, like I say, being able to see those sorts of things. And if somebody can go to young Jeez Louise, who is out there, right, a different version, and convince them to change that way and start putting some away and stuff, like, can be, you know, life-changing. But you know, we all go through our own experiences. I'm glad to see that you've come out on the other side happier. I think that's the most important thing. Sorry to come here and talk about day trading. Got excited earlier. Hey, Elias. I'm not a big day trader person. I'm a long-term index fund hold person. But, you know, to each their own. To each their own. You don't need to show anything. Just spend money on what's necessary and makes you feel good. Pretty much, yeah. Like, so many people worry about perception of themselves in others' eyes and stuff. Like, if you don't like my stream, leave, right? I'm not trying to build out some crazy life on Twitter that shows that I'm always, you know, having the blast and whatever. Like, I just want to, like, put out positive things or do my stream, and that's that, you know. In the end, all is forgotten. It's true, man. It's true. I chose to invest 7% of my profit into the business, building towards covering more needs. It was tough for a bit. Didn't have a lot to put away, but man, it really paid off. Nice. If you're doing your own startup, you kind of need to bite the bullet for a bit. Startups can be tough. I'm flat broke, no job, 3K in debt. I hate life. I hope you've listened to the podcast from start to finish, and I hope that there's maybe some advice in there for you, Witchcraft. If you hate life, why not change it? That's kind of always my thing. Change it, right? This is your life. You get one life. Change your life. You know?
Join my army.
Because why not? You can keep hating it.
Much love to you, Llama. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Relax. Mwah. Llama's driving this way. That's my hope. Been through a lot of other terrible stuff. Not afraid to hear about those negative financial and luck choices don't really mean anything. Not if you don't improve from them, and way importantly, can't find another young kid with dreams and talents and goals. You know, some major accidents. Take a lot of time now helping other people who have been through I've been through. That's awesome, man. I really love your stuff. You got a great attitude. You're a good trainer, definitely. Thank you. You trade index funds also? Just SPY options permanently? Gotcha. I haven't. Is there a link I can get to all of them in succession? www.growthebuckup.com. Also, yeah, 3K is not a lot of debt. You know, Jeez Louise just said, I'm $114,000 in debt. Like, there's people with way different and worse situations, but you don't even have to compare, right? Life's not about comparing to your neighbors.
Join my army of the
Not at all.
I hate your podcast. It tells me that I am inadequate, which I already know. So I'm leaving now and taking your camel with me. I need to learn C.
You're not inadequate at all. I hope you don't actually feel that way. You can't even buy a pack of cigs right now. Well, one, I'm not a smoking fan, so quit that smoking. Same with you, Camel. Even if, also don't learn C. Oh God, no. You'll really hate life if you learn C. Go learn Python. You'll like things a lot better. But additionally, yeah, like really, it's called addiction for a reason. Yeah, but I'm saying quit today. And if tomorrow you start again, quit again tomorrow. And if you start 2 days later, quit again in 2 days after, right? Let's keep trying. Because at least it's one more day that you didn't smoke or something, right? But I know. I haven't smoked. I haven't dealt with that addiction. I'm sure it's a tough one to deal with. There's millionaires that are deep in debt. Doesn't mean anything in terms of happiness if you don't let it. It's true. It's true. I don't know if this is boring, but I had a job for 5 years that I hated, made $45K a year, but wasn't happy in a really crappy place, far from home. Wish I quit sooner. Don't know how I lasted 5 years. Quit recently and
fresh meat.
Moved back home. Kind of broke, but got savings. Kind of happier. I mean, it sounds like you're starting to figure out a little bit of that path, right? I too would recommend the rest of the series for some of those things to address. But really, thank you, Twisted Bro, by the way. Mwah. Really, you got to start figuring out how you want to tackle life. What do you want in life? What are goals that you have in life? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people ask their goals, and it's just get married, have kids, have a house, which are fine goals. But where's the personality in that, right? Add a lot more to those things. I want to, figure out a lot more. And it doesn't always have to be exact goals, but feelings, right? How do I want to feel? What are the things that I want to, do? What are the emotions I want to have? What are the people? What do my friendships look like and relationships and just those sorts of stuff. Good thing about growing up poor is I'm happy with a place with a washing machine and internet. Also, I smoke and the habit becomes part of your personality. That's tough, man. That's tough. But yeah, I mean, I think growing up poor and growing up without stuff is definitely huge. If you start to give yourself all of these little things, and that's why I say if you're just starting a job, like starting out somewhere where you're not living in luxury and kind of saving a lot of money and stuff, you'll kind of adjust more to that life as opposed to if you live in luxury and then try and take it away, right? It's a lot harder to take away than it is to add.
Help me.
Good night, Llama. Thanks for the help.
Good night, Cheese.
You're an amazing soul, even if you are just a fake camel. Love ya.
Wow.
Don't want to steal thunder, but if Llama's not available or online, you guys can message me.
Oh, that's nice.
I screwed up my life completely, and am now okay. Can help.
You just have a lot of experience. That's all. Thank you, Cheese. Good night. Tackle goals this football? Yes. Sometimes you need a friend to help keep you accountable on addiction stuff. I think friends are great for lots of things. Dang, Easy Mac. My goal is to reset the clock on the microwave. Well, go do it already. Never go to work if it actually makes you unhappy. You'll hurt yourself in the long run. I actually spent into an awful depressive streak due to a job. Hard to come out of. You can make $20K a year and be okay. Yep. Find what makes you happy and figure out how to sustain it. You don't need to be rich. Just need to have a smile on your face every day. I like that. I like that. So for me, that's definitely a huge goal of mine. That's why I switched from, I was working full-time and streaming, and I started working part-time because I wasn't happy enough with my life. I was making more money, but I didn't have a smile on my face. I was getting burned out. There was a time I went to the emergency room because I was so stressed out that it felt like I was having a heart attack. And they were like, "Nah, man, you're just stressed as can be." I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." They're like, "Here's your $1,500 bill. Don't be stressed though." So I had to change it. I had to change my life and switch it up. And now it's a lot better from, making that shift, even though I make a little bit less. It's okay though. Nice, slow guy. You learned to program on a hand crank powered calculator. Solid. You made it depressed. You're not really sure, but you lost a lot of motivation. So my biggest advice for someone who's lost that motivation and, is kind of a little bit in that mode is go out and do something that you would never have done. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations, and if you need to, use friends to do it. That's exactly what I did. If you listen to my podcast, Build the Life You Want, Then Save For It, I talk a lot about that right there. And Wherever You Go, There You Are. Both of those podcasts. It's totally about that,
I know we love to troll Llama, but he really does care.
You do.
He's been helping me out with some financial stuff, and he genuinely enjoys helping people. Camel hats off to Mr. Llama.
Camel hats off. Thank you, Greg. Keep it a good fight, friends, and let friends stream Fortnite. That's a sticky note on your ceiling. Oh, God. What's the tiny door? It's a pantry. There's no kids behind it. Sorry for all the dim vision. Wasn't meant for you to get a heart attack. It was before dim vision. Don't worry. Debt and slight poverty do no damage to you physically. Stress from work will actually harm your physical being. It really will. It really will. You're going to get out here. Much love. I agree with G's. I'd like to say to everyone, there's always support out there even if you don't see it. Truth. Find a hobby or interest you can work. Here's a life work interest. It's only 2 minutes ago. It's awesome. Have a good one, man. Working towards being a drug alcohol counselor. Nice. You have to check out the podcast. Sounds good. I hope you do. I hope you enjoy it. I'm always open to feedback as well. Camel. Get that Camel merch store. You would sell so much merch of stupid camel gear. You would probably sell more than my actual llama merch. That'd be fine. Seriously, your podcast has been an inspiration to turn my life around. Thank you for everything you do and say. Hey, thanks so much, LeBron. That stuff right there, that's all it's done for, right? That's all I want. Change one person's life, improve it one at a time. But yeah, whenever you are in those situations where you just need motivation, where you're just, feeling down, you just are like I say, unmotivated, whatever it is, go do something new. Change your routine. It's kind of like the, insanity, or the definition of crazy or insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting it to work, right? If you're unhappy in your current job, in your current life, and then you keep doing the exact same thing, it's not going to improve. You're still going to be unhappy. So change it. And there's so many ways you can change it. You control your life, and thus you can change your life. So if you want to get up and move to a new city, somewhere in a new area, and go to an event and meet people, whatever, do all of those things. Some of them are going to work out. Some of them might be awkward. Some of them might be, you might fail, whatever. But changing your life up is going to be at least something different, something new, and it gives you a chance to improve it. Just do it. That's right, OGB. It's crazy, bird brain.
Join my army of
With the exception of MF runs. Right.
Camel would make humps of cash.
Exactly.
Take my money. Llama, these Thursday Q&As are my favorite. Don't ever change.
Thanks, Greg. Humps of cash. Oh, God. Awful. Just get up. I mean, not right now, it's bedtime, but get up. Yeah, for real. Go do something crazy. Something that you never thought you would do. Face a fear. You know something? Spiders, I have a fear of spiders. Something that I want to do, I want to go lay down in a cage of spiders at some point. Just so I can face that fear. Like, obviously not poisonous ones or whatever, but I want to go and lay in a box of spiders at some point. Or hold tarantulas and have them crawl over me. Because it's something that I would never think of doing. You know? It's something that I would have always been scared to do. And just doing it.
Join my army
Massive,
of the
you know?
dead.
Big
I
big
did
growth
get up,
for me.
but quickly got myself down again. Was a little bit teared.
Well, you know. Get up later then. Came for D2 speedruns, got life advice, which is good to hear these days. Trying to help. Trying my best. For me to ask you when I could catch your stream at GTQ ages back, you were talking about doctors up, brother, and someone said something you were commenting. What did they say to you? Oh, nothing. That was also a part of the joke. I was joking like they cut me off, or like they told me, hey, it's Doctors Without Borders, not Doctors Without Brothers. And I was like, oh, really? What? Oh, okay, never mind, guys. So it was all just all a joke. Teared. How about filling your underwear drawer with spiders? See, I don't want to walk around with spiders in my underwear. I just want to, you know, I just want to face any fears that I have. I want to face them head on and, you know, put myself in those uncomfortable situations. Yeah, that's right. Welcome to Fear Factor. Here's a cage of spiders. You got it. You got it. Oh, man. That's fun. That's fun. First night you just spent yep, everything on Bash. Oof. Bash Barb for life. Live in Arizona. You'll have scorpions in fly every couple of days. Yeah. Scorpions are probably scarier because who's Dane Stingers? Zero technology for a week. 1 week next month. You're going to try it. Go get it. I think zero technology for a week would be fantastic for so many people. Yeah, my one of my friends in Oklahoma, in her house, she gets scorpions. These things are feisty little things. Thank you for advice. I won a coin toss tournament because I knew the law of averages. Nailed it. That was beautiful. All right, guys. Any more questions on the topics? Nice, relaxed. If not, I believe it is about bedtime. Need to go to bed at somewhat of a reasonable time so that we can try and wake up on Saturday for Member Stream. Zero tech for a week when Diablo Immortal comes out. Solid. Nice and more. All right. Well, mwah, kisses to you all. I want to, Fide. I will sometime. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out. Not quite relax. Podcast will be up on the podcast feeds, all of them. Grow the Buck Up. And of course, growthebuckup.com. You can find all the stuff. Twitter, Instagram. I've been trying to post some like fun little pretty pictures on that and inspirational things. All those places. I appreciate any support in any of those, any sharing out to others, as I just want to get my message out to as many people as possible. So, you know, if anybody wishes to share it, feel free. Is that good? That wasn't a bad slide. Yeah, and then there's the cool tool again. All right. Mwah. Peace, everybody. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you on Saturday morning. Bye.